I think Robert Saleh is an absolute doofus.
I wouldn't even trust Robert Saleh to manage the drive-thru at Arby's. He's like a bag of chips. It's just like empty calories. Like this guy.
70% air.
Exactly. Yeah, you open up that bag.
Watched the Cowboys-Jets game with my wife and my gay friend this week, and they wouldn't shut up about how hot he is. So, yeah, I say fire the guy. I say fire the guy immediately.
Next conversation on what are we talking about? The Jets and their situation. I was personally at the Cowboys game, so I saw all 22 in real time with the Jerry World replays on the big giant jumbotron of the game, Cowboys and the Jets. Breece Hall got 4 carries. He got 2 targets. He dropped one of them pretty bad, almost was intercepted. And I think the other one was nowhere near him. CeeDee Lamb balled out, especially in the first half. He seemed like he was getting targeted every other play. Had a massive first half for fantasy football standards. After the game, Breece Hall tweeted 4 football emojis, and that was it. Immediately deleted it in reference to his 4 touches, we're all sure. After the game, in the interview to the media, Sauce Gardner, all-star Jets cornerback, second year, defending rookie of the year, came out and was like, hey, I would really like to follow the number 1 wide receiver wherever he goes instead of lining up on the left side of the field every single time, which is weird to say. You don't hear that said very often in the NFL, especially to media. That's conversations that happen in-house, especially for veteran players. I would consider Sauce Gardner a veteran player at this point, as well as Breece Hall. Breece Hall the next day doubled down on that tweet and was like, was pretty pissed off. I only got 4 touches in that game. At the end of the game, they basically put him in bubble wrap. They're like, hey, this game's over. We're not giving it to you. We're going to run the clock out. We're throwing in the towel on this game, which brings me to my opinion on Robert Saleh. My main concerns going into the season for the Jets as a new Jets fan, because I went there with Aaron Rodgers with my fandom, was I'm concerned about that offensive line. I'm concerned about the MetLife turf, and I'm concerned about Robert Saleh. And I was least concerned about Robert Saleh because I was like, Aaron Rodgers is in charge of this team. This is Aaron Rodgers' football team. Despite all the blunders that Robert Saleh made last year in quarterback decisions, in game time decisions, leaving games with timeouts in his pocket that he could have used to potentially come back in certain situations, I think Robert Saleh is an absolute doofus. He went to high school right down the street. We actually played football games. We used their stadium at Dearborn Divine Child to play football at Fordson High School. Fordson, known for doofuses. There's literally a saying in Dearborn, if you bring up Fordson to anybody, any boy in Dearborn Divine Child or Crestwood, they'll tell you like, oh yeah, Fordson bro. Because that's just like, they're just like the bro school. They're the dumb school. And I think Robert Saleh encapsulates that Fordson vibe perfectly because he's a doofus. And I think he's entirely unqualified for the position that he has. There's a reason a lot of those Michigan guys end up currently having these head coaching situations or offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator situations in the NFL because it's a boys club and they kind of just bring their boys with them because they played high school ball together or they coached at Central Michigan or Northern Michigan together back in the 90s. Andrew, what is your thoughts on Robert Saleh?
Okay. First off, I wouldn't even trust Robert Saleh to manage the fucking drive-thru at Arby's. I am dead serious. I got 3 points right here. So, yes. 1, Sauce Gardner being upset about not being able to follow CeeDee Lamb, it's a valid point. But the thing is, Robert Saleh runs a version of the Seattle cover 3. So those corners technically don't travel. They just stay on their side. However, in the past, someone with exquisite talent, like a Richard Sherman, they would be given the freedom to trail the best wide receiver, like a Michael Crabtree back in the day, defend them nonstop, trail them. 2, Robert Saleh was hired as a big energy rah-rah guy. Those coaches don't really work out. The best coaches in NFL are the tacticians. They're the Bill Belichick's. They're the Sean McVays, the Shanahans, the guys that know their X and O's. I mean, this guy, Saleh is just out there and he has his vein out of his head. He's just like, let's go. I mean, that's him. Yes, he coached San Francisco. They made a Super Bowl. They also had like the best defensive players in the league. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Jimmy Ward. I mean, the team was stacked. I mean,
only had one good defensive season at San Fran.
Yeah, exactly. If you ask me right now, Robert Saleh is just Nathaniel Hackett with better PR. Seriously, that's all he is. He is literally Nathaniel Hackett's also on his staff now. So congratulations. You have the dumbest coaching staff in the NFL without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Do you think that they're valuable? Those rah-rah guys are valuable as offensive coordinators and not valuable as head coaches, or do you think they're just not? They don't have a space in the NFL.
They're good as coordinators. They're good.
I agree.
Dan Quinn was kind of like a rah-rah guy too, but he's also like a motivator. He is a little bit more. Like Robert Saleh he's like a bag of chips. It's just like empty calories. Like this guy is just a walking bag of Lay's. Like I just know.
70% air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you open up that bag, a big family-sized bag. Like, dude, it's gonna be great for the picnic, and it's really like 2 snack size dumped in. Like, screw that guy.
Oh yeah, James, what do you think? You think Robert Saleh is a genius and he should win Head Coach of the Year?
MIT graduate for sure. No, he kind of gives me a strength and conditioning coach vibes whenever I hear him talking. Like I feel like he's definitely somebody who you have to be bold to be a strength and conditioning coach these days. I mean, I think I don't know what goes on with the X's and O's here. I think for sure that he could be somebody who could be more quality control guy, somebody who gets the right coordinators and does stuff that way. But I agree that he's probably not the top schematic guy in the league. I think he's definitely somebody who could be a better linebackers coach, defensive line coach. Maybe he has hit a ceiling. I do think personally that he does have a very interesting story as to why he went into football coaching. I would like to give him a little more time and give him that chance since this is only, I think, year 3 for him. But I agree that what I've seen on Hard Knocks, what I've seen in real life, probably not. He might not just be not a head coach guy. So he might be. I think he's going to end up being a great linebackers, defensive line coach. But it does kind of seem that the head coaching position may not be his forte.
Yeah, and we kind of can surmise a lot of stuff from Hard Knocks historically, like Hugh Jackson. I think we all kind of, if you did watch that Browns Hugh Jackson Hard Knocks, you kind of watched it and you're like, oh, this guy's a doofus. This guy's not a head coach in the NFL. Like he's just not. He just doesn't have it.
If you watched the Dallas Cowboys season, you knew that Michael Parsons was going to be the truth.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Any other point?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, James.
I will say Sauce Gardner talking about going to wide receiver 1. Loved the Darrell Revis vibes I'm getting from him right now.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that. I'm excited to see that in New York again.
Miles, any last notes on this?
Yeah. I'll say for the most part, my only knowledge of Robert Saleh is from Hard Knocks, and I watched the Cowboys-Jets game with my wife and my gay friend this week, and they wouldn't shut up about how hot he is. So yeah, I say fire the guy. I say fire the guy immediately.
We got to come out with the head coach hotness power rankings.
There you go.
For the podcast, we gotta do that. That would be an awesome.
I feel like we're gonna find like the more attractive the coach, the less successful they are, and yeah, we're definitely looking at you, New England and Denver right now.
Yeah, Bill Belichick, number 32 for sure. Yeah,
we should not do the current head coaches. We should do all Super Bowl winning head coaches and then rank them.
There you go.
To see for comparison.
But we got to get them all to agree to wear a wet T-shirt so we can have a fair assessment.
I would say maybe like Mike McCarthy would be the one to buck that trend. He seems to be like maybe an average head coach, and
Sean Payton is a very attractive man.
Sean Payton, very, very attractive. Ooh, Andy Reid though. He would be maybe.
He looks like the
30s.
guy, the Montgomery or the cheese, the fat mouse from the Rescue Rangers. Can't remember.
I don't know.
Monterey Jack, that guy.
Yeah. I guess probably another handsome older man over there in Pittsburgh. Probably the best head coach in the NFL right now, Mike Tomlin. Also a very handsome man, although getting a little bit older, but man, he's aging extremely well.